Hey folks, welcome back to Tactical Advantage. Today what we're going to look at is the newest restoration project to come down the pike. What we have here is a Winchester Model 94 and 3030. Just to give you a little quick background, 1862 I believe is when Winchester repeating arms was started by Oliver Winchester. He really kind of pioneered a lot of the smokeless cartridge guns. With that really was the culmination of the 1894 repeating rifle, which is what this rifle is based off of. Beautiful, beautiful guns. I love them with a passion. I would put these up against any modern sporting rifle, and you know, it holds up more than 100 years. 100 years old, you know, just excellent guns. Also known, as you guys might have heard, as the gun that won the West. This one is actually, at least what I'm thinking right now, a 50s or 60s variant. Before the restoration is done, I'll do some serial work and try and find out exactly when it was produced. You know, it's not in horribly bad shape, but definitely in need of a restoration and some love. This is a family-owned gun. So this isn't going to be up for sale, so we're not really doing a restoration to period, though we may. Haven't decided yet if I will try and blue this gun or polish it out or potentially coat it with one of the newer, more modern coatings, but we'll see. Really today I just wanted to take a brief look at it, let you guys see what we got. And we'll go ahead and get started on the disassembly. I think today what we're going to go after is just pulling off the furniture, the buttstock, and the foregrip, and get working on those. As you can see, the buttstock's got some pretty mild damage, but this is a solid wood stock. It's not a laminate, so we should be able to bring this bad boy back to life fairly easy. So let's get started. Alright, so first things first, I'm going to go ahead and pull the buttstock off. With these guns, there's only one mounting position that holds the buttstock onto the firearm, and that's in the rear tang. This is before you started seeing pass-through bolts into the tang. So this is something you'll see on a lot of these older Winchesters or guns of like design. This is really a weak point right here where you can see breakages and longitudinal fractures or cracks in the wood. Luckily this one does not have any of those symptoms, so we got pretty lucky there. This is one of the ones, unless you have your screwdrivers ground down for these bolts, they have particularly thin slots in them, so you want to go ahead and use your gunsmithing screwdrivers or screwdrivers that you've previously ground to work on these with. You don't want to use like a regular number 2 or something that you would find at the hardware store. Chances are you're going to mar these bolts and screws, and they're somewhat hard to find if you're unlucky or you live somewhere or don't know how to get the thread pitch or the period correct piece. So it behooves you to try and get it right the first time without damaging it. So first off, we'll just try and get this broken out. A little bit of mud in there, but luckily everything seems to be coming out fairly easy, so that should be loose and be able to be lifted out. Alright, now here's something else I've mentioned on a couple of my restoration videos that I think I'll just mention again. Really one of the most important things you're going to run into when you're doing restorations with firearms, cars, anything with a lot of particular smart or small parts, you want to make sure you're being very diligent in the disassembly phase, labeling everything, keeping everything together. You can think you know everything about these guns, but when you have a pile of 100 or so parts, it's really beneficial to know where everything is going. So the first thing I've done is I've got a couple bins here that as I take bolts out, I'm going to go ahead and put them in their respective bin and label them. So this one will be the buttstock bolt, and we'll lie that aside. And then let's see how difficult it is to get this buttstock off. Oh, not very bad at all. So that gives us a little chance to take a peek into the tank portion. Really dirty. I don't see a lot of rust inside. The spring looks good. A little bit of rust in there, but mostly grime. So that's good for us. That's a big plus. Next thing we'll take a look at is removing the foregrip. Let me get the camera in a little better position for that. The foregrip on these guns is also relatively easy to get off. What you want to do is release the barrel bands. One, they have a sling swivel here and another barrel band. Get those off and out of the way, and once that tension is taking off, this fore end is just going to slide right off the barrel. So let's get that started. This is probably going to be a key indicator on how well this gun has been cared for. As we get that foregrip off, these guns are notorious for building up rust in this area. So this is going to tell us what's been going on with this gun during its life, and how much work it's going to take us to get her where she needs to be. So first off, let's get this barrel band loosened up. Again, using my gunsmithing screwdriver set. Get that loosened. That's already loose. Let's just for some fun here, get this off and take a look at what's going on underneath there. So we'll go ahead and put the barrel band bolt in its bin, get that labeled up, and we'll try and move this thing off. Alright, so we have the barrel band loose. We'll try and see if that'll come out of position without us having to persuade it too much. There we go. Oh, we saw some dirt fly out of there. That's not a good sign. Now remember, this needs to go forward. Alright, so I have my gunsmithing hammer. Let's go ahead and see if we can give it just a little bit of light. Enough now that it'll move for us. Oh, let's see what we, oh yeah. Let me get a close up there so you guys can take a peek at that. There's some rust. So glad we saw this. Actually, it looks like a lot of that might just be dirt. But you definitely have the beginning stages of a rust problem or a corrosion problem. So the perfect opportunity for us to get that nipped in the bud before it destroys this beautiful, beautiful gun. So let's go ahead and get this foregrip all the way off. Alright folks, so now we have the barrel bands loose like we talked about. And that should allow us to move this foregrip around. We've already got it broken from the receiver. Now this is the tricky part that you definitely need to be careful for. Because what we're going to do is loosen up the magazine tube, pull it forward, and that will allow us to take the foregrip to the rear and slide it off the magazine tube. Eventually all these are going to come off, but that's the easiest way for us to get what we want to get to right now. So we'll go ahead and disassemble the magazine plug. And remember, this is a very long spring. So once you remove this screw, this plug, the spring assembly, everything's going to want to fly. So you need to be very careful with how you're handling this, because it will go on you. So there's your magazine spring. The follower's still in the receiver. Let me get you back over here. Okay, so we have the magazine tube free. We'll pull that forward, as you can see. And what we're going to do is pull the fore end forward with it until we have enough room to move it to the rear and pull it off the gun. And that, gentlemen, is how you remove your furniture from a Winchester Model 94. Thanks for watching.